Deep in the slopes of the Songshan Mountains, in the Chinese province of Henan, lies the birthplace of Chinese martial arts. It is said that in the early 6th century, an Indian prince named Bodhidharma traveled to China to further the practice of Buddhism. He settled in the recently established Shaolin temple. Finding the monks at the temple to be weak and sickly, he introduced a series of movement and exercises based around Indian yogic breathing. These exercises were styled on movements of the 18 main animals in Indo-Chinese iconography and became known as the 18 Hands of Lohan. This is thought to be the true roots of Shaolin boxing today. Although the exact origin of Wing Chun Kung Fu has never been fully proved, there is a generally accepted chain of events that led to its existence. The first seeds were sown during the anti-Qing Revolution due to the Manchurian invasion of China in 1644. Several groups set on overthrowing the Qing dynasty formed, dedicated to returning China to a Ming dynasty. These groups centered themselves in the Shaolin temples, where they were taught martial arts using extremely vigorous training techniques. The monks of Shaolin became renowned for their fighting skills, which aroused much fear and jealousy within the Manchu court, so much so that the emperor ordered the monastery to be destroyed. Very few monks survived. In fact, many say only 5 managed to leave with their lives. They became known as the Venerable Five. The Venerable Five are Ng Moi, Pak Mi, Miao Hin, Feng Do Tak, and Ji Xin. It is these monks that were responsible for the birth of Wing Chun as it is known today. Ng Mui, who was accomplished in boxing skills, taught her art to a young girl called Yim Wing Chun. Yim Wing Chun taught her husband Lung Bok Choi. They also incorporated butterfly knife techniques from the daughter of Miao Hin. Lung Bok Choi tutored Lung Lan Kwai, who in turn taught Wang Hua Bo, a member of an opera troupe on a ship called the Red Junk. On the ship was an actor called Lung Li Tai, who had learned his pole form from the boat's cook, who turned out to be Ji Xin, one of the Venerable Five. By this stage, the Wing Chun fighting system was complete and was passed down through the generations to Lung Jan, then to Chu Yok Guai, Feng Hua, Lung Chun, Lung Bik, and Chan Hua Shun. From these 5th-generation masters, Chan Hua Shun taught Yip Man and Li Xing. Li Xing passed on his knowledge to Austin Goh, who is now one of the few true Wing Chun masters still teaching today.
I started training with my uncle when I was 7 years old. He was a Shaolin master from China. He taught me Shaolin Kung Fu, Wing Chun, Tai Chi, and Qigong. I came to London when I was 17 years old and furthered my study in physical education. At the same time, I was looking for another master, which is a Wing Chun master, Grandmaster Li Xing, who is a Wing Chun Kung Fu brothers with my uncle. The reason I chose Wing Chun because I found that it's easy to learn, it's effective, and it's a no-nonsense approach to street self-defense. After a brief meeting with my master in the Chinatown, he decided to take me on as one of his closed-door students. I used to work as a bouncer, and after 4 o'clock in the morning, I go down to the restaurant and train with him in the kitchen. We used to do chi sao, forms, and kung fu techniques. And in the weekend, I go to his house and practice the dao-mi, the butterfly knives, the weapon training, sparring with some of his top students.
Austin Goh is a successor to Grandmaster Li Xing and is one of the most successful and accomplished martial artists in England and Europe. By the early 70s, he had built a strong reputation for himself in just a few years, more than many good martial artists achieve in a lifetime. Austin has been invited to give lectures, seminars, and demonstrations by masters from the USA, Europe, and the Far East. He has been a professional bodyguard to the rich and famous, and also performed many professional stunts in Hollywood and Hong Kong cinema. In 1973, he He established his first martial arts school in London's Chinatown and has since expanded to many European countries. He's considered to be the first Chinese master to openly teach to Westerners in England, and was the first master to teach and display all of the forms and techniques of Wing Chun to the public, as he believes that there should be no secret formulas and techniques in any style of martial arts. What worked 300 years ago might not be practical now, so the training systems and principles must change to suit our modern world. If anything is to survive, it should be taught openly and fully.
3, 4. Change. 5, 4. Step. 3, 4, 5, 6.
In 1982, he became the first Chinese master to appear on British television on the program Just Amazing, and set a world record by breaking 50 concrete blocks with his head, hands, and feet. He broke yet another record in 1999 with an amazing display of strength and chi on the television show Guinness World Records. Austin is the author of 3 best-selling books, Wing Chun for Beginners, Intermediate, and Advanced, and produces numerous training videos.
Martial arts training has been a lifelong experience for me. It has taken me nearly 40 years of hard training and sacrifice to achieve my dream. Kung Fu is not acquired in a day or night. Learning the art of Wing Chun is like walking on a hazardous mountain path. You have to prepare to fail in order to reach your goal. In the beginning, I found the way was hard and tough, but my master always encouraged me and guided me through my training. I have got to where I am now because of the inspiration I received from him. I would like to share my experience and training with you. I hope it will bring a better understanding to all those who wish to further the skill in the world of Wing Chun.
Wing Chun Kung Fu is comprised of 3 main boxing forms: a wooden dummy form, the pole form, and the butterfly knife form. These are the most traditional of the Wing Chun system, although through the years, other techniques and forms have been added, such as the kicking form, the sandbag form, and the arrow punch form. Sil Lim Tao, or Little Ideas form, is perhaps the most important in the whole Wing Chun system. It is vital to learn properly, as it is the basis for all of the other forms. It is performed in a stationary parallel stance and only uses the hands. It concentrates on developing stability and balance and linking body structure. This form can also be practiced on one leg, which further improves balance and lower body strength. The more time spent on this form, the better the foundation. At first, the student should do the movements in a very slow and relaxed state in order to fully understand the correct positioning for the arms and hands. Tan Sao, followed by Pak Sao and Straight Punch. Pak Sao. Bong Sao, back fist. Pak Sao, Tan Sao, Bong Sao. During this stage of his Wing Chun training, the student learns to use his footwork, to kick correctly, and how to turn his body in response to his opponent's attacks. In this form, he will learn the proper defensive techniques of Bong Sao, Tan Sao, footwork, elbow positions, and the correct body movement in reaction to attacks. There are two basic kicks, the front push kick to the knee and stomach, and the side kick to the shin and knee. The techniques in the form are required to reach a very high level of accuracy, almost perfection, before the student can move on to the next stage and the next forms in the Wing Chun system. In addition, once he has mastered the complete Cham Kyu form, he can move on to free sparring with other students. Push kick, side kick, This form requires years of reflex training and learning before one can become proficient. With constant training, a student can attain an elastic, flexible force instead of a rigid attack. This force in the Wing Chun system is similar to the force of the crane and snake movements, in which the attacker remains poised to attack the prey and then strikes with a quick and sudden move. During this training, the student is taught to attack vital points of an opponent: the eyes, groin, throat, rib cage, and nose. This is the stage when a practitioner reaches his highest proficiency and is free from all the restrictions and rules in the art. This means he can be unpredictable and can easily surprise his opponent in attack and defense in a fighting situation, whether in the school or in the street. By now, a student will find that the practice of the art will become a form of self-expression. Fat Sao. Kang Sao. 2 Kang Sao. Kicking is seldom taught or shown in the Wing Chun system, as it is most famous for its boxing forms. This form comprises of 8 basic kicks. Unlike many Kung Fu forms, the emphasis here is in low kicks, never aimed above the waist. As with the punches in Wing Chun, the kicks are designed to be as quick and effective as possible while maintaining balance and stance. Although this form is not traditionally associated with Wing Chun, the students who learn it find it invaluable, as it teaches one not only to attack with kicks, but also to defend with them. While practicing this form, some kicks are delivered above the waist to improve balance and flexibility. Kang Sao, followed by side kick. The 6.5 point pole form teaches the concepts of a long-handled, single-ended weapon. The boxing techniques learned in the previous forms are basic to both this form and that of the knives. The weapon becomes an extension of the body. Although in modern-day situations they are less relevant in self-defense, the student still learns vital information about control of the body and channeling energy into fixed points of impact. The butterfly knives form is the most kept secret of all the Wing Chun training systems. It is considered to be a treasure by most masters and is only taught to a handful of students. The butterfly knives are 12 inches long, including the handle, 3 inches width at the cutting edge and narrowing down to 2 inches near the handle. It is usually made from steel or alloy. The butterfly knives form is divided into 10 sections. Each section has its different moves and techniques to make up 108 movements. The wooden dummy is perhaps the most important training aid to the Wing Chun system. These techniques lie at the roots of almost all Shaolin martial arts. Yim Wing Chun formulated the 108 wooden man techniques from her own style, which have been treasured by Wing Chun masters ever since, and has seldom been taught outside the training hall. By using the dummy, one can find exact positions for hands and legs, particularly at the moment of impact of blocks and strikes. The dummy also improves the student's speed and movement, especially around their opponent. The unique aspect of the dummy is the fact that the students can practice on their own using full force. Daily practice can be done even without a partner, and at old age, the practitioner's standard is preserved and even improved. Chi Sao, or sticky hands, is a unique training exercise to Wing Chun. Its main function is to cultivate sensitivity in the arms in order to be able to predict your opponent's movement. It requires great concentration, as attacks are without warning, other than what your own arms tell you. It helps develop quicker reflexes, as well as honing skills such as correct positioning of blocks, locks, and strikes. Eventually, after much training, the basic techniques are turned into instinctive reflexes. Free fighting or sparring is a very important part of Wing Chun training. It is the closest a student can get to a hostile situation within a controlled environment. The student can practice all their techniques, condition their bodies, and learn to remain calm even when confronted with aggression. An extended period of sparring is also a valuable form of exercise. Practically every style of martial arts, including Wing Chun, is concerned with proper breathing and the development of Qi. Qi, which can be translated as breath, spirit, or life force, is the flow of energy governing muscular movement, the process of breathing, the regulation of the heartbeat, and the functioning of the nervous system. In other words, all physical, mental, and emotional activity. Correctly developed Qi can be used to enhance health, cure illnesses, and in the case of the martial arts, perform feats of strength and power way beyond those normally related to muscular abilities. The high degree of concentration required in Qigong exercises relaxes the student's whole body, and the exercises and breathing techniques improve the blood circulation and flow of energy. If practiced regularly, one can feel the sensation of the flow of energy or Qi. This amazing form of training is well over 5,000 years old And instead of exercising just the muscles of the physical body, one also exercises the blood, nerves, and veins. Hardness becomes softness is the balance between yin and yang. The fighting skills of Wing Chun are based not only on physical strength and techniques, but of a full understanding of the body's capability. It is important that a combination of both external and internal training is necessary for reaching the highest levels of fighting ability in the martial arts and training.
There are no shortcuts when it comes to learning Wing Chun Kung Fu. Although the movements are simple and uncomplicated, there is always something extra to learn or improve even for the accomplished. If one is willing to train hard and stay dedicated, Wing Chun will provide you with a strong and healthy body externally, internally, and mentally, long into your old age.
Very good. Individual skill of each man. Individual skill of each man.
Will you have who could possibly beat me?
Very good.
Will you have who could possibly beat me? Damn you, seems you need a lesson.
I'm afraid of anything.
Will you have who could possibly beat me? Damn you, seems you need a lesson.
I'm afraid of anything. Very good. Individual skill of each man. Very good. I'm afraid of anything. I'm afraid of anything.
The enemy was forcing onward so fast that he'd already got a kind of invincible aura around him.
Oi, what are you doing? Sit down there.
You say okay now?
No, sit down.
Alright, son.
Fucking hell, you're like a baby, you are. You're filming up here, no?
Will you have who could possibly beat me?